Alright, so welcome back to Little Coding. Today video we're going to build a portfolio. So this is what a demo look like. So when you refresh, you can see there's a nice animation right here. This is a float button, and when you scroll down, and this is display the stack that we use, and we have this nice float animation as well. So alright, so I hope you like this one. So let's get started. So here I'm using VS Code, so you can use any tag editor you want. So I'm just create React apps for this project, and if you want to code along with me, I leave the link in the description for the starter project that you can go and clone for this one, because we have the asset that necessary for this project and also the content that we're going to use this one as well. So I don't want to write it again, so this is, I've already written this one, and so we're gonna use this one. Alright, so let's go ahead and do that. So I already running this one, and for this one I'm using and also the starter project I already configured the Tailwind already. So in the start right here you can see we have the Tailwind. I also configured the custom font, the Google font right here. So when you install a starter project, you need to run yon install or npm yon install, and then also you need to run the yon build css. So this is going to compile the Tailwind, so which we're going to do now. So I'm going to run yon run build css. So this is going to compile our Tailwind into the main.css right here, and then in the index.js I import the main.js css right here, so then we can use it globally. So then as you can see, it changed the font right now, but we not yet config our own font. So we go into Tailwind config right here. You can go into the font family, and then we can do the doses, and then the stack right here, those font doses. After you change this one, you need to run yon run build again, so then we can be able to use that font. Alright, so now we finished this one, so let's go ahead and start code our component. So first I'm gonna create a components folder components, and then in here I'm gonna create the navigation.js. Okay, great. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna create this navigation and this header right here. All right, great. I'm gonna this one and close this one as well. So my experience with using with Tailwind is that it's better to use with to do it in the small screen, and then we make it responsive later, so that it's really easy to do. So in here I'm gonna use snippet or RFC. So this is from ES7. You can find it the extensions right here. So navigation is, it's really simple. We're gonna have an H1 that is going to be the logo, and then we're gonna do content. Let's see, content.nav.logo right here. Right now, if you can go index.js, you can see logo and CCC right here. You can change, if you want to change this one, you can just change in here. It will reflect into this one as well. And then we have another div. That this one is going to be have a content.nav.links, then .map, and we have some link, and then we have some index. This one is going for the key, and then I'm going to do the return span, this one, and as a span, and then we can do link.text. Good, and then I open the app.js, so then I can import the navigation in here. Navigations. So yeah, so that's great. So now if you want to see this one on the same line, I think I'm gonna wrap this one with another div. And if you want this one on the same line, we can do class name this one to flex, and also item center. Right, great. And then also justify between, and then we can space between this one. But as you can see, it's kind of like to the edge of that, so I'm gonna shrink the width this one to only 10 over 12, which is I think roughly like 80% of the screen. Yeah, 83%. And then to make it center, we're gonna X this one to auto. And I'm gonna do PX this one to be 3, actually not PX, PY. Padding, and then I'm gonna do this one. I'm gonna do is a style that gives the background color. So the background color is gonna be 09 1C29. So this is the black color. Great. So this I'm gonna give a class name of text2y. I think overall the text is gonna be y, so we can do that in parents. It's gonna be text y, and the font we're gonna use our custom font is font doses. Great. And the h1 right here, I'm gonna give a class name to text. Let's see. Let me think. I think it's gonna be text 3xls. And font this one is gonna be bold. Yep. So it's gonna be font bold, and this one is gonna be class name of text XL. And then I'm gonna do or this one is gonna be 4. All right, that's great. So, and we have some red dot right here, and the red dot like that is we're gonna do with the span. So for that, first I'm gonna give the key for this one first, index. And for that red dot, I can do the span right here. And this span I can give the width and height. So I'm gonna give a class name of width to 3 and the height is 3 as well. And I'm gonna BG this one to red 500. But now we cannot see it. So if you want to see it, you need to do that with the inline block. And then you can do rounded full. So then it's give a circle. Yeah, I think that's it for our navigation. And we can see that in the large screen. So now we can do in this one, and on the large screen it's looking okay as well. So we don't need to change anything. So now let's go ahead and create another component, is our header. Oops. So in the component I can do the header.js, and it's the same thing. I'm gonna do OFC right here, and for this one, I'm gonna do h1's hello header first, and then we can import that into our app.js. So header, okay, great. So in our header, in the parent right here, I'm gonna give a class name of this min height to screen. I'm gonna do flex, and then item center. Yeah, and justify center as well. So everything it need to be center. So you can see. And for the background color of this one is going to be the same as the navigation. So I'm going to copy this one and paste it right here. Right now we cannot see anything. So then I'm going to add the image. So this image is, I'm going to use the lazy load image. So for that, I'm going to use a lazy load image right here. And the source is going to be content. So if we go index right here, we have our header, we have the image right here. So the content dot header dot image, and voila. So that's great. So the lazy load image right here, if you want to know more on how to use that, you can read more on this documentation, and I left the link in the description. And also I have a tutorial that I'll show you how to you do use this one as well. So we're gonna include the effects right here. So basically I'm gonna do the effects. It's gonna be blur. Okay, so that's good. And okay, so the next thing is what I want to do is the title, the content of this one, the height and everything is right here. So I think I can do with the h2 this one, and now we're gonna do content. Let's see, content dot text dot header dot text is index 0, and I'm gonna do br of this one as content dot header dot text index 1. So now we go back, we cannot see this one, so I'm gonna give the class name of this one to text y. Alright, so now you can see this one. Then I can wrap this one in the single div, so we do not have that flex. Okay, and that's looking really good. And the next thing is we're gonna have an h1. This one is gonna be our content dot header dot text index 2, which is display IM, And as you can see, we have this nice animation right here. This one is from the React typical. So this is a React typical, and I leave the link in the description as well. You can check out more on this one. So basically it's gonna do the animation for that, and I'm gonna show you for that. I'm gonna copy this one. I'm gonna import right here, and then I'm gonna copy this one. So let's say I think I'm gonna copy this one and then paste it right here. And so now I'm gonna close this one and change this one as well. So now as you can see, we have I am hello world. If you want that in the same line, you can do class name, and then you can do this one inline block. So it's now on the same line. So for this typical, I already have the content in the index.js right here, which is this one right here, the typical. And I can do that with the content.headers.typical, and we have everything that we need. And the last one is gonna be a button. So our button is gonna have the text button as well. So we're gonna do content, the text, a content header, so btn text. Alright, so that's it. So now we're gonna do some styling to this one. Okay, I think we're gonna do is to make, first I'm gonna make this one, the h2 right here. I'm gonna give a class name to text to 4XL, and then font to be bold, and then everything is gonna be font doses. So I'm gonna do font doses on the top right here. Great, I think this one I can increase the, and this one is gonna be text. This one is gonna go center. All right, that's great. I'm gonna do 3XL right here, and then this one I'm gonna do font bold as well, but text this one 2XL, and then the color gonna be text gray 700. This one, I think it's 500, can be good. Okay, now that's looking good. And for the button right here, I'm gonna give a class name to bg indigo, bg indigo 500, and then we're gonna do px 20, and then py 3. Py gonna be 3. I think it's really large, so I'm gonna this one to only 15. All right, p10. Okay. And then we're gonna do text this one to XL, and then I'm gonna do the uppercase as well. I'm gonna do empty this one to 10 to give a little bit spacings, and then around it LG, and yep, I think that's pretty much it. So it's looking good right now, and if we refresh, yeah, voila. And for the lazy load image right here, I'm gonna do some placeholder source. It's gonna be a process.env.a public URL plus gonna be the asset from the React. So it's gonna be logo 512.png. Okay, so before this image is finished, like if it's still downloading, we can show this one first, like the logo of the image. Okay, that's now it's looking really good. Like this one, we have this nice animation as well. That's what we're gonna do right now. So for that float animation, we can go into the Tailwind. So can do Tailwind config right here. One thing that I can do for this one is I can go into the bound image, the bound animation. I call this one a float. For the float, I can call this one float with 3 infinite, this one. Okay, so then we're gonna create the float animation right here. So float, basically I'm gonna copy this one, and then this one we can do transform, translate to 0 pixels, and then the animation of this float is going to be, I'm gonna scroll up a little bit, so is in and out, and with the 0% for this one, and also I'm gonna put this 3 times, and 50% it's gonna be minus 20 pixels, and with 100% we're gonna do back to 0 pixel. And I'm gonna do another animation is a refloat, so it's gonna reverse of this float. It's gonna be the same thing, refloat this one, and it's basically I'm gonna copy this and I put this one to refloat, and instead of 0 we're gonna do reverse of that one. This one is gonna be minus 20 back, and this is 0. Okay, so now after you change this one, you need to run build CSS. So this is going to compile so that we can use this animation. Okay, so now we complete this, compile this one already, and go back into our header, and we can do the animations float. So you can see we have this float right here. All right, that's good. So now if we go into the large screen, the image is not looking really good. So for that, we need to working on that. So for that, I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give the class name. The width is this one is gonna be 2/5. And for this one, we're gonna do class name of this one is gonna do flex. But we do flex call, but from the MD we're gonna do flex row, and also reverse this one as well. All right, and then we want to item center, and then justify between. So we want to justify content in between. I like that's looking really good. And with this one, we're gonna do MD with this, but when we on the small screen, it's gonna be full. So right now we have this full right here. Yeah, looking good. And the text center right here, when we go on the big screen, we want to do text left. And I think I'm gonna increase the font right here. So when MD, we're gonna do text this one to 5 XLs. And okay. And the width of this one is going to align with this one, so we're gonna do that. So I think I can give the width this one to 10/12, and then X auto, and voila. So now we have on the same side of this one, and we have this nice animation as well. Okay, so then the header is finished. So let's move on to another component. So this is like the stack that we're gonna use, that I use. So and then we're gonna do the OFC right here, and then I'm gonna do H1. So this one is like stacks I use, and in app.js I'm gonna import this one, stack I use, and there we go. So this one it's the same as from the header. I'm gonna copy this one. So we want to give it like the max screen, the min screen of this one is going to be screen, and that's it. So and then we're going to have the div right here that's going to render all of the image of our stacks. So this is from the index.js. Like here we have the tag that we use, which is the MongoDB, React, Express, and Node, and we have some description as well. So for that, what we're going to do is content dot stacks dot text dot map. So this is going to be the text, and then we're gonna do index for the key and also the image. So basically we're gonna do as a span. Okay, the span right here. I think I'm gonna return this one, and then we're gonna have the lazy load image, and then the source of this one is going to be text dot image, and then all of this one is going to be text dot this one as well. So we have this full image. It's really big, and I think I'm going to wrap this one in a single div. All right, great. So then we're going to have another p paragraph. This one I'm going to give a content dot stacks dot text stack dot descriptions. So like description while using this text right here. Okay, So now that's looking good. So we're gonna do some styling for this one as well. So for that, I'm gonna do class names to text to XLs. But why it's not in the center? Like, you know. Okay, so for that, I'm gonna do, I think I can do remove this one, and then we can do flag this one as col. Yep, flag this one as col. Okay, good. Take this one, I'm gonna do fit 5XL, and then in here in the parent, I'm gonna do font doses. And yeah, I think that's looking good. And then this one, I'm gonna do font this one to be bold. All right, and then I'm gonna style this one. I'm gonna class name to width is 40, and the height this one to 40 as well. And for this div right here, I'm gonna give a class name this one a flag, and then flag wrap. All right, looking good. And then I'm gonna do bg this one to be white background, and I'm gonna do the shadow 2 XLs. Okay, and then I'm gonna do 2, and then I'm gonna do round it to full. So this is gonna be full, and just define content, make this one into the center. Content center. Okay, so but the express right here is not going to center. For that, we're going to wrap this span right here with the flex, and then just the item, the center. So then everything is gonna center, and the react right here is gonna look really big. So then I can do the padding of this one to 5. Okay. So now it's looking good. So, and also I need to style this one a little bit. So class name. So I'm gonna do width this one 10/12, and then X auto. So that I think it's already in the center. And I'm gonna do tag this one to XLs. Okay, and then also tag this one to center as well. Okay, and I'm gonna do T to 10, and also this one as well. I'm gonna do the T this one also 10 as well. So yeah, if we look at the large screen, it's look okay, but it's kind of like this one we need to shrink this width a little bit. So when we go to D, I'm gonna width this one to 3/5, or 2/5 should be good. Or we can do this one, max width this one to be XLs. So yeah, so now everything is look good. And for the animation, I'm gonna add the animation to this one. I add some logic to this one. So right now, when it's gonna, I'm using the float that we build on that we use in the header as well. So if the index, I'm gonna do if the index right here modulo 2 equal to 0. If it equal to 0, I'm gonna do animation this one to be float. Else I'm gonna do refloat, animate refloat, and this one the animation float, and the image animate float, and voila. So this one I need to space this one a little bit. So yeah, so right now we have this nice animation as well, so that's good. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this video. And the next thing is we want to refresh. When we refresh this page, we want to have this one have a nice animation, not just like show up like this one. So for that, we need to go into header, and we can do use effects for this one. So const animated. So animate it to set animated equal to use state equal to true. I think it's actually 4, and then we're gonna do use effects, and also this one as well. Okay, so we're gonna set the animated this one to be true. So whenever like the component is after it's running, it's gonna run the animated, and then we're gonna do the animation to our text. So to do add the logic, we can do like this, and okay. So for our animation, when we do, so when it's not animated, we wanted to translate it to, or translate by, translate y to 10. and then opacity to 0. And so when we use translate, we need to use transform. So transform, and then we want to transition this one to duration is to 1 millisecond, and is in hour as well. So as you can see, we have this one really nice. And also I'm gonna copy this one and apply that to our topical as well. And for that we need to use this one as a backtick, so then we can do the logic in here, and we give it a space and we paste this one. Voila. So now when we refresh this one, it's looking really good. And if you want to change like the duration of this one, you can go in Tailwind, and you can find a Tailwind config right here. You can go, let's see, the 200 ms. Okay, this one. So I can give like 2000, and then I can choose 2000 ms. And after you change this one, you need to run build CSS, so then you can add 2 second right here. Let's go back to header, and we can change 2000 right here. And there we have it. So now it takes 2 seconds to do this one. And the next thing is when we click on this one, it should scroll down to this one. So for that, we're using React Scroll. And at this one, I leave the link in the description if you want to check out and know more about it. Basically, we're gonna wrap this one with our header. Alright, let's see, with the link button right here. So this is a link. This link is from the React Scroll. As you can see, it's from the React Scroll. And you can, if you have a link, like say a React router, if you don't want to confuse, you can use as, let's say, scrolling. Okay, I can change this one to scrolling. Yep, so now we can copy this one and use it right here. And now we can do this one to stack, and then we're gonna do smooth to be true. And then we go back into our stack, and we can do the ID. We give the ID this one, so the stack. So then when we click, the React Scroll will find where there's ID. It will go into this part. So this one, we refresh, nice animation, scroll down, and go in here. Yeah, I think that pretty much it for this video, and I hope you learned something from this video, and I hope you like this one. Don't forget to sub and share it with your friend, and don't forget to join our Discord server, because I just create a server so you can join, and then you can request a new tutorial, or you have any questions. And also there's a full project right here. This is the full project that I built. This is what it looked like, and I leave the link in the description as well if you want to have this code for this project. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this. See you in the next video. Peace.